Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever time you are watching us. Welcome to Conversations and Opinions. I am Tarvis.
I'm Clarissa.
I'm Shay.
And I'm Karonica. And today we have a topic that we don't normally talk about, but we're going to copy off our homeboys from Concrete Reality TV and get a response for what they just had their episode on. And we're talking about the word bitch.
Bitch!
To most people, bitch is just a bad word. It's actually one of the most communicative words in the English language. You can say bitch and it means, huh?
Bitch.
Say bitch and it means, don't even try it. Bitch. The word could mean, wait until you see what I've got up my sleeve.
Bitch.
You can use the word to let people know that you're happy. Bitch! Sad.
Bitch.
Afraid.
Bitch.
To let people know that you are at your wit's end.
Bitch.
You can use the word to mean, I'm really angry.
Bitch!
You can use the word to say, I have some really, really important information to share with you.
Bitch.
You can say bitch and it means, that was funny. Bitch! Try using bitch today in your office. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Is the word a term of endearment? Is the word used in love? I sent everyone a link to the episode that Concrete Reality TV went over, and they talked about the word bitch, the meaning of the word and the history of the word and what the word is turning into. We're going to start with whoever want to jump in here.
Oh, I've been waiting. Good God, I have been waiting. So, ladies, when I watched Concrete Reality TV's version of bitch, in my mind, it has always been a negative word. It will always be a negative word. There is nothing we can do to make it a term of endearment. Mm-hmm. It's just negative because if memory serves me correctly, it was based off the movement of women's rights to have the right to vote. So that's what they called us bitches for, creating a movement. And the first initial meaning of bitch was a promiscuous woman. So now follow what I just said. The first meaning was promiscuous woman, if I'm saying that word correctly, meaning loose, a lot of men or whatever you want to call it. And then they used it to identify a woman's movement to have the same rights as men to vote. So in that conversation, it was brought up about how we take negative words or words that are used towards us as a Black culture. We try to find a way to flip it to make it a term of endearment.
If you want to be called bitch, they're going to call you bitch, but y'all ain't talking about the same meaning for the word bitch. Y'all got different meanings for that word. But you'll never know that because all we got to say is, like you said, hey, which bitch are you calling me? You saying the positive bitch or you talking about the negative bitch? Oh, baby, I'm talking about positive bitch, baby. Yeah, I wouldn't call you that no negative connotation, but in my mind,
no negative bitch.
Exactly.
But to me, you cannot evolve a word that has a negative connotation.
When I think of the word bitch, I know that it originally started with the definition was a female dog. So it went from being a female dog to people using it as a negative word to describe a certain type of female. For me, that word originally, when I think about it as when I was growing up and how I saw it, I always saw it as fighting words. Like somebody called me that I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
Anybody knew my mom wasn't playing when it came to that. She literally would jump off of whatever it is she on and she wasn't playing with that. It just wasn't something that we played with growing up. I guess it could be our era. It could be our age. I don't know if it's from the youth nowadays. They see it differently because they have tried to evolve the word, the culture. I'm not really sure, but for me, like it's very disrespectful. as I've grown up, because I remember we were all having this conversation at my cousin Chloe's house a long time ago, about, you know, how some people use certain words. And I was like, y'all would never, you know, I was just going off about it. But as you get older, sometimes the word, I don't get as angry. Now I'll be irritated, but I don't get as angry as I would have when I was younger than I am as a 47-year-old person. It's just a difference. Like, I don't want nobody calling me a bitch, but at the same time, like, if I hear it, some other people saying it, it don't as disgust me as much as it did when I was younger. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I agree. There is no way. Like, I remember when the word took the transition from a bad word to a word being used among friend groups and things like that. I've never been for it, still not for it. It's disrespectful. Really echoing what you guys have said. It's disrespectful. Just pick a different word. Like, why do we have to evolve? Why do we have to evolve a word? Just pick a different word. Like, why are we even trying to make this word? I understand why people try to take a negative word and turn it positive, because you take the power away from the word being hurtful. But I'm not here for being called a B in any sense of the word. Now, I do have, if your husband or significant other is calling you that, that's fighting words.
I looked this woman in the eye. I said, bitch. You told me 6:45.
Come on now, say it again.
Right.
Say it one more second. Please repeat that.
Yeah, negative situation among people that you were cool with. Now they're using it as an attack word. Bad. The kids saying it to each other. Bad. Not around me. Like, I just do not like the word. But I have found, like Shay was getting ready to say, well, like Shay said, some instances I'm still just kind of like irked, but I'm not gonna like fly off the rails. And I find that with my gay friends that were born male, when they say the word, for some reason I don't get infuriated. Like, I don't know why. So part of it's psychological, because I know where the word came from. I get angry when I hear it from certain people, but with delivery from my friends that were born male that are gay, I don't get mad. Now, I still don't let them call me that, but when they are saying it with each other, I'm not irritated. So yeah, I'm not a fan of trying to evolve the words, because who are we making feel good by evolving the word? If you know what it used to mean, like, you can't call me Aunt Jemima and I want to fight. Right. The company has gotten rid of the name. They have repackaged all the products.
Yes.
If it had a negative connotation to it, why are we trying to make it be dope now? Like, I don't even want to use the word, because no matter how you evolve a word, or no matter how a group of people try to change what it means, we all know what hurt and pain was affiliated with the word and everything that came with it. So I'm just not a fan of trying to evolve words. Expand your vocabulary, increase your intelligence, read a dictionary, and just that part.
I agree with everybody. I just find, I mean, just when I listened to their episode, I found it interesting of like how deep the history went with the word, and how it evolved into what it is now. Growing up, what the word meant for us back then, anytime I use the word, I know what I'm not using it for a positive. Yeah. I'm going after you. I'm using, I mean it, whatever. But I'm kind of like, the older I get, you can't call me that, but I know people use it in terms of like, bitch, I got a story to tell you. Girl, this is what I'm not necessarily offended with that, because when you're approaching the words, but if you're directly calling me one, then I have a problem with that. And that's a conversation we will have to have. But I just find that I don't understand why we turn these words into positive instead of forming a new word. People were coming out with talking about the word and everything, and you have Queen Latifah who's trying to make it more positive for women.
I believe it was Queen Latifah that came out with a song to combat the word bitch.
Yep.
UNITY, that's a unity.
I mean, it was a derogatory term that was brought to hip hop. We didn't know where it came from. We just knew that the most vulgar word you can call a woman was a B word.
but women have to take ownership of this too, because it's mainly women who are taking this word back and trying to make it more of a positive word. And and now they're actually living up to what the definition of the word is.
What you said.
So
that's stupid.
They're like, okay, this is what I am. I am this, and I am that. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like we're in a time now that women are now what people. I feel like the women back in the day, like the Queen Latifahs and the other women who stood in the gap for us and spoke for us. It's like now they're like, nah. We're gonna be this. We're gonna be that beat. We're gonna be that, and they're living up to it. So it's like, as women, we have to demand more respect and demand the change, because we're like, I don't know. It's just different. I can't even put it in words, because when I was actually thinking about this episode, I was thinking about and I'm not going to name any like particular artists, but I was thinking about all the different type of artists now that are out now and how they live on that word. Like, that's their thing. Like, they are proud of it.
Yes.
Where we were like, don't you call me that. Stop saying that word and stuff like that.
Because I'm gonna be the baddest one. If that's what you say, I'm that bitch. I'm gonna make this money. But I want to transition just a little.
Wait, real quick before you transition, I want to just jump in on something Karonica said, because it leads back to a larger issue at hand. Okay. Karonica said we have to take accountability because women are the ones who are bigging the word up fast. But why do we as women, every time something's uncomfortable, we find a way to be okay with it?
Right.
Like, why are we even trying to figure out how to, I'm going to be the baddest one. No one that ever pursued a wonderful, like, lifelong legacy said that at the beginning of their journey. Like, I'm going to be the baddest one. I just don't understand why we are even trying to figure out a way to make the word fit, or to feel comfortable with it, or to laugh about it, or, sticks and stones can't break my bones. But I don't even want to be around those conversations when they are using the word endearingly with each other. As long as y'all not calling me that, like, y'all can do what y'all want to do. But when I have a group of men who are aggressively using the term about women and things that they don't like, it's just it feels like a protest moment. So it's like, okay, let me just refrain from even environments where people use the word in a fashion that's like a regular part of their daily vocabulary.
So before I transition, I'm gonna piggyback on what Shay had said earlier about the definition being a female dog. So we all females, correct? So instead of me using the word bitch, would y'all be okay with me saying dog? Yo, dog. I mean, although the men do that. right. I'm just saying, going off the definition. So I'm like, dog, you my dog. But is that bad?
Well, see, when you say
do that back in the day, though.
When you say it like that, though, a dog is actually lots of millions of people's best friend. So when you hear dog is man's best friend, maybe the original time it was used, it maybe wasn't even to be derogatory. Maybe it was just like, man, this person's as loyal as my German Shepherd lets me down. So it may have come from that particular word, may have come from a term of like, man, that's my dog by my side every time. Boy, she never leaves, he never leaves. So that may have been a term of positive endowment on somebody's name.
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, if the definition of bitch is female dog, and we should pick a different word, would you, all of you as females, as adult women, would you be okay with being called dog as opposed to the word bitch?
Well, I have been said, you my dog, you my girl. But to me, that's totally that's different than because the word bitch has come is a negative term. Like, I've been called that because I wouldn't give you my number. I've been called that because a lot of women were called that because they stood up and they were more assertive, and they were more they spoke their mind, they went after stuff. So you were called those things in a negative. It just wasn't any positive to the word. It wasn't built off of positive. It's no positive meaning for the word.
Okay.
But now that the newer generation, I won't even say the newer generation because I feel like we blame a lot on them. Mm-hmm. But I am with people of my age who say it a lot too. So I feel like that just women in general, all walks of life, have changed this word and they use it as a term of endearment.
I think it's also normal for women. Women, I think this even go back as far as slavery. We're so used to taking something that was a negative thing that was thrown at us or done to us, and we usually find some way to take it as a positive. When you see people make comments and they say all the time, Black women are strong and we take things, we'll take something out of nothing and make it into something. You know what I'm saying? Like we've always done that. So I think it's gotten to the point to where we've taken it to another level of taking that negative thing that happened to us or those bad circumstances or situations that happen to us and making them into positives. Now we're taking words that you can't really like take away its true meaning or its true initial reason for attacking certain people and try to make it into a positive thing.
Let me piggyback on something Chloe said. Chloe said, a female can't call me that. No matter who they are with, and I think that's true 100% for Shan Karonica. So with listening to Concrete Reality TV, their co-host, I can't remember her name, but she made a statement during this episode that said one of her female friends told her, I'm going to call you that until you're comfortable with that.
I remember having a relationship with a really close girlfriend that I talked to for a long time every single day. My girlfriend was like, bitch. And she didn't mean it derogatory towards me. But I didn't like the fact that she was getting comfortable with calling me a bitch because I was raised to believe that that wasn't a compliment. And she said, girl, I'm going to call you bitch every day until you get comfortable with hearing bitch.
In my mind, hey, she's not your friend. She don't give a rat's patootie about you, sweetie. Because there's no female, blood cousin, friend, acquaintance, whatever, can ever say to me, I'm going to call you that till you're comfortable with it.
You can't do anything to me until I'm comfortable with it. Like, just not even just a term. Like that's not even about that. That's about control. That's about manipulation. That's about disrespect. Because if I don't like something, you telling me that you're going to repeatedly do something until I have come to a place where I no longer buckle in front of you when you do it, that's not helping me.
Right.
What type of help is that providing to a person by saying, I'm going to drill this into you until you're okay with it?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that any term that someone is uncomfortable with should be respected.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm trying to figure out the way to say it. I just feel like it's certain people who feel that way. We all know people who they walk around and they say the F word all the time. Somebody else might not agree with saying that. And they're like, well, I'm going to say I ain't going to, I'm not going to change the way I talk in front of nobody. To me, those are all kind of like the same things. It's like when if you're in a group of people and that's not what they do or what they're not, for you to, we are in this mentality now is like, well, you're going to get comfortable with it anyway because I ain't changing it. So you either going to deal with it or because I'm not, you're going to have to be the one to change. We're in that era.
Yeah, your value.
Yes.
I can't even imagine a place where somebody saying something like that would be a place I would continue to go or stay. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine. Because if I'm not for something, I'm just not for it. Like it doesn't what the rest of the world is doing.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that the masses are doing that I can't see myself ever doing. Like, just because 1,000 people are okay with it, the rest of us need to start conforming. No, it's not my tribe or my people or the place to hang out.
I think it's like where they say that you gotta know your environment.
Mhm.
If the environment over here ain't that, then respect the environment. If the environment that you're in is that's what y'all use, and you use the word, then I need to remove myself if I'm not comfortable with it. So I think it's like you got to know the environment that you're in, the people that you're with, what type of people you're with, and it's not downing anybody about what words you're comfortable with, because we all come from different walks of life. We all see things differently, but at the same time, I think that it should be respected. If you say, I'm not comfortable with that, please don't call me. The next word that comes out your mouth should be, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I'll try my best not to use that again. That's it's simple like that. It's just you should be able to respect what people, their views and how they feel about things. That's
y'all know me, I'm always stirring the pot. The second thing I want to address that Chloe said, not your partner, your spouse. She then went on to say, she was like, okay, and I started to get comfortable with her calling me that, whatever. And then she was like, yeah, because for a minute, I didn't like it, but my man told me, bitch, go on and bend that thing over, or something to that effect.
And I was telling her that sometimes my man would say that to me in the relationship that I was in at the time. And I'd be like, I'm offended. Like, I don't want him to call me that. After years of being friends with her and her just doing it, even though she knew I didn't like it, I began to be desensitized to it. And I began to grow a liking to it when we were in the bedroom. Now, I didn't like it when he would just call me a bitch randomly. But when we was in the bedroom and we was turned on and he would say little freaky stuff and stuff like that, I actually liked it.
So I'm like, wait a minute. At no point in time in life, and I was married, okay? Could my husband, the guy I'm dating, in the midst of sex, call me that, let alone sex, period. But in sex, you what? Bitch, do what? Huh? Oh, I'm done with you. Lose my number. And y'all know I'm a fool. But I guess my personality, most men know, that she's a little crazy because I am wee bit Paquito, but that hurt my feelings for her.
But I think he was talking about role playing though. I
don't give a rat's ass, excuse me, if it was role playing. You not calling me that, Shay.
Well, I think that's different. Okay.
I think everybody has a different tolerance for different things. And that's what really, when you start breaking issues and stuff down, everybody's tolerance is because just look at everything. If you're raised in a house where, say you're raised in a brothel and hearing the word whore, you heard it your whole life. You are not going to cry your eyes out if you hear that as a 25-year-old, because it's like, oh, that's just, it's just a word I heard it my whole life. I think that there are some women who are completely fine with all of it. There are some people who are not happy with any of it. There are some people who are like, oh, I get it when like me. I'm saying when my gay friends say it, even though as long as it's to me, I'm not thinking they're being disrespectful to each other because that's just the way they communicate. So the role playing thing, that's just about what you are willing to.
Yeah, what you like in the bedroom.
Like everybody's different.
But kinking, so now I got a problem.
Some people like it slow, some people like it fast.
And I get that. So, but hold on. If we're talking about it's negative, you can't change the definition of it being negative. There is no point in time role playing that it becomes endearment, where it becomes okay to use it. So
I think
or you're not.
Well, I think it's different.
Because
I think it's different.
if you're okay with him saying, bitch, bend it over, then please don't take it disrespectful if he's walking in the house. Hey, bitch.
Where my dinner? Where my dinner?
Well, I think, okay, so when we talk about kinks in the bedroom, personally, when we talk about kinks in the bedroom, all of them could be disrespectful. So, that's to me a little different because really nobody knows what you're doing in your bedroom.
Right.
And some people like, I ain't never tell nobody I did this. And, you got all those things like that. But kinks in bedrooms, to me, is... I don't know, because a lot of kinks in bedroom, you be hearing people talk about, I would think that was disrespectful. But people are like, that's in my bedroom, that's what we do. And so I think that's a little bit something, because that's a different topic. I don't know. To me. But
the reason why I'm going to say it's not a different topic, because it was addressed during the topic of the word. Because even with all of them, you should have seen the faces. I don't know if y'all remember the faces. They was looking like, because I'm in my mind, and I guess I'm straddling the fence a little bit. In my mind, you're right. What you do in your bedroom is your business. But if you bring it up and you're talking about negative, what's the word again?
Connotation. Example of giving you a reason why she kind of like wasn't as I guess strong as she was when she was younger, as opposed to as she got older. She was just showing you that, well, in this instance, this wouldn't bother me because I don't think this person is coming at me saying it in this way to be offensive.
It's kind of what Carissa said, because she said the same thing, that her friends that were born male, she is not offended by that, but somebody else might be offended regardless of whether you were born male, female, whatever. They might just be offended. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's the term changes. It's just that, like she said, she don't know why it didn't offend her. She didn't know why it didn't offend her when he did it in that capacity, versus when her friend was trying to get her to do it, she was offended. So I think it's kind of like you said, we kind of have that, as you get older, you kind of have that thing like, I'm not offended when a girl says, bitch, I got something to tell you. Or they send you that message, bitch, guess what happened? Yeah. I'm not necessarily offended, but back in the day, I would have been caught off guard that you said that, period. Right. So I think it's one of those up and down things. Like, I don't want you to call me one, but I know that the word is moving to a term that people use for different reasons. So I don't know why I'm not offended when the homeboy called me that.
So in Tarvis's world, a woman who has said no over here, but yes over here, cannot be mad if somebody says she's sending mixed signals, because now I don't understand, because you said this and then you said that. So I mean, some people have to take it situationally. Some people have to, because like, I don't like to be called bro. But when my friends will say it, but when I hear the kids calling their parents bro, I'm like, oh. So again, I hear the word, if my brother calls me bro, I'm not offended because he's calling me sibling. The other person has the same mother. But if my son is like, bro, what's for dinner, bro? And I'm like, huh. So I think that sensitivity is a thing too. If you're sensitive to certain words, then it doesn't matter who's delivering it, who's saying it. You just not going to be for it anyway. Right. I don't like to be called silly. I don't like that word. When people say, oh, you're so silly, I'm like, triggers you. If you're argumentative and you say silly, I'm like,
But and I'm like that with certain things too. But I know that,
and I say that word all the time.
It's like, and I say it too sometimes. But then I say certain words bother me too. But I know that the person's intentions are not to hurt me. They just like, you're silly. You can take it as being offended, but you know that the word silly is silly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said, you have to kind of, in your mind, you probably like cringing, but it's not a word that somebody is trying to be offended.
They're not doing anything with it. Yeah. Because if I just made a joke and you said I'm so silly, I can't. Am I flying off the handle? It's like, no, that was okay. I get it. But if I make a mistake and I'm like, man, I just did this thing, and you say, man, you're silly. You silly.
Right. It's how you say it too. And what yes.
Yeah.
And
that's
what
true.
the situation is. Like you said, like I dropped the thing that fell. Girl, you're a silly somebody.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all that y'all have said, all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the word is negative.
Yeah.
It's always going to be negative. I don't care what spin you put on it. There's no point in time where it's endearment. No, what you do in your bedroom is your business. At the end of all of what I just said, to summarize it, if you get offended by your homegirl or something calling you a bitch, but you've openly said, I think it's cute when my man say, bitch, bend that over. Then please, in my presence, don't talk about, oh, well no, because you accept it when it's comfortable to you. There is, at no point in time will it ever be comfortable to me. In my bedroom, outside, what? No, it just won't. Pick
So
another
fine.
name.
Let me ask you a question. And so I don't want to get too deep, but so I'm just saying. So in your intimate settings, are you saying you've never role played, and are you saying that you've never said anything, or had your male said anything to you that might consider to be in a regular setting, not as respectful as you would want somebody to speak to you?
Hell no.
Very nicely.
Okay, and I'm finna be vulnerable. Ain't no man I've ever dealt with.
I ain't saying the word.
Hold on, listen to me.
The word bitch.
Hold on, I'm gonna answer your question. You said in the bedroom, role play, all of that. We talking about calling me out my damn name. No, ma'am. No.
That's what, you're not listening. You're not listening.
I'm gonna answer your question. You said if they use a word, anybody who not, let me answer your question, okay? You said, have they ever used a word that I find disrespectful? If you know me, my favorite word is fuck. If you know me, that's my fuck, motherfuck, fuck you, fuck. I'm gonna use fuck some kind of way in my vocabulary. Do I think that's disrespectful? Fuck no, because I'm not calling you out your name. To me, it's an adjective, it's an action word. And I have said, you. So to me, that's not disrespectful.
So if somebody said fuck you, is that disrespectful?
Hold on, Shay. The word bitch is derogatory. You
but
call
it's
it
fuck you
my
derogatory. It's fuck you derogatory.
No, because I use it.
You lost me. What you say?
Now look, I've been with you on this side of the fence, but the F word is universally shunned by everybody. It don't matter. People don't say it around their grandma, the children, in church. Here you go. I don't know if you say F me. I'm not upset about that at all. When we know that is a universal term, it is even exists in sign language if you do that in sign language with somebody ready to fight. I think it's about, again, preferences.
Yes, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I love it. People be like, fuck you, T, fuck you back. That don't offend me because
you can't do that to me.
No.
That's my favorite.
That's my new phrase. That's gonna be our phrase to each other.
What? Fuck you?
Tom.
Okay.
Well, that ain't Shay said that. That ain't mine.
Okay.
No. Let me take
no,
that back.
That's what you just said.
Let me take that shit back.
Offend me.
Yeah.
It won't ever offend me. That's my favorite word.
Look, my point.
But what I think that
either.
That's what.
That's not a cute word. That is not a cute phrase. That is not. It's not.
Well, okay. Am I calling you out your name when I say
yes?
You can be considered calling. First of all, you calling people out their name if you're not using their name. So at the end of the day, I think it really depends on what you like, because somebody else might be offended that you use that in the bedroom. Like, she don't have no respect for herself. She letting him say that in the bedroom. I just think that it comes down to, especially when it comes down to bedroom things, I really think the kinky thing is gonna depend on the person, because somebody else, we have had conversations with our girlfriends or people just in general, and they have said stuff you like, oh my God, that is never happening, or they might feel like that about you. Yeah. I just think that part is just period. It's gonna be, it's not meant to be normal. When you think about it. So I feel like that part is just going to be based on what you're comfortable with as a person. But as far as the word bitch, we know that the word came from a negative. It was meant to be negative. So it's more so the word is now evolving, like many other words, like the N word and other things, evolving to words of endearment. Like, people are just saying it. But my whole thing about the word is, with any of these words, if it's going to be evolving to a term of endearment, then this word should be normal for anybody to be able to say it. It should be okay for kids to say it. It should be okay to say it in school. It should be okay for everything. If it's considered to be a new word, and there's no harm in the word. But that's never going to happen, because we know the history of these words.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so again, y'all know I like to stir the pot. So when I watched that episode, I sent this to Karonica. And this goes back to what we were talking about with the fact of we're always trying to turn something negative and make it positive. So this was on Instagram. My brother sent this to me. I'm gonna read to you what it says. It says, meet the female pastor who sleeps with her members to heal them, claims God anointed her vagina. Pastor Mrs. Veronica claims her vagina is anointed for healing and fertility in men. So if the word bitch had a meaning of a promiscuous woman, what are y'all thoughts on? Is she trying to change that into something positive? Is it still negative? Should we call her pastor bitch? What should it be? Look at y'all faces. Priceless. Priceless.
What?
Well, with that.
What?
I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out how to even comment on that, because I'm confused. I think you can take anything that's negative and put your own definition and make it positive, and try to make people see your point of view. I think that's with anything. You can say now it's okay to date underage and be like, oh, okay, this is why and stuff. I think that we're in a time where everybody can change anything that we know mentally that don't make sense, but they can change it to form it to
suit a group of people who get loud enough about wanting the thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So does that make sense to me? Absolutely not. Is it crazy to me? Yes, it sounds crazy to me.
But you're paying for the healing. They might not find it crazy.
Exactly. So I feel like women in general are trying to take their power back in an odd way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another episode that we're gonna do, and it's a clip, and it's a woman. I can never say her name. What's her name? Clarissa, the Fix My Life lady.
Iyanla.
Yeah, and she had on a clip basically, and I'll try to insert the clip here as well with the Concrete Reality TV so that everybody can see exactly what we're talking about. But she basically said that she found women nowadays nasty and basically nasty and angry or something like that. And this is stuff I've been thinking about the last couple of days. You know, you're up late, you looking at these little clips and stuff like that. And it goes into like what we're talking about, what women take in, change and stuff. I think we're just a different type of woman. It's not the type of woman that people were trying to build us into being. I mean, like, I think some of it is positive of us speaking, having a voice and stuff like that. But I think that, in my opinion, I agree with her on some of the things, because there's a difference between being assertive and speaking up for yourself and being passionate and being just mean and nasty. And I think that now we're living off of mean and nasty as if that's the way to go. Like, it's just,
that's not the same as strong and empowered.
Yes. And I think, like, when you talk about the Michelle Obamas and you talk about the other women who are trying to lift and make things better, they are because she said the difference between us. So I'm not trying to say aggressive. I'm saying assertive, because she said what the difference was in her opinion. So they're more assertive and they're speaking out and they're educated and they're, you know, they have a voice. And I think that now our voice is like, well, if I want to be this way, I want to be this way, and can't nobody tell me what to do. And then the way they handle men too, I think it's just, it's like we're all over the place, but not always in a positive way.
That's because of that soft parenting. Nobody ain't getting their ass beat. Like, the problem is that our generation, we didn't go and just be disrespectful. Like, I couldn't say certain things to my mother. Everything was thievery.
Any adult.
Like, I mean, anything you did, like exactly. Like back in the day, people used to get beat by the neighbor because you was in their flower pots. I mean, people just didn't let you disrespect them like that.
But I think it also is the generation is our generation who's raising these kids. Our generation is the one who started the disrespect from our kids that are coming up now.
It's the social media. It's so,
that too.
This is my feeling. Social media has distorted our way of life, because it's now social media is the end all be all, and everything is focused on social media. The negative, you can do this on social media and it be okay. You can make tons of money being an influencer or whatever on social media. And it has even created an atmosphere of us not even communicating with each other in each other's presence. We can go out to dinner. You're not engaging in a conversation. So the disrespect that's tolerated within social media and then glorified, to me, translate off of social media into our everyday life. So I forget which one of you guys said something about the mean. It's just we're being mean to one another, but that's what it is even on social media. So
women are becoming more, instead of being assertive and speaking their mind, and they're now becoming, I guess, in so many words, kind of ignorant in the fact that how they speak to people, how they deal with situations, how they handle certain things, and it's like it's flopping from us wanting to have a voice, being educated, speaking up for ourselves, making things happen, and now we're like backpedaling in some form of way, or
losing the ground we were trying to build.
Right.
Yeah. Well, look, overall, everybody, the term "bitch" is. What do you think about this? You've seen our brother's episode. You've heard this episode. Drop in the comments what you think about the word "b." Yes. What does it mean? Because did your grandma let you say it? Did your mom let you say it? Are you gonna let your kids say it? Are your grandkids gonna be able to come in the house and high five you and say, B, how was my day was at school was crazy. I don't know, but drop in the comments what your opinion is, because
Please,
this is
Yes.
go and go and go. So I think we may have ruffled a few feathers, hit some things on the nails on the head here, and I think the conversation will continue in the comments. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere we are located, and have a good rest of your day not being called a bee.